Holy Sonnet 14, Better My Heart 3% cut by John Donne. The elements of poetry are five: form, sound devices, imagery, mood or tone, and theme. The first analysis is form or structure. In this poetry, there are three stanzas, including first stanza, second stanza, and third stanza. The second analysis is sound devices. First, rhythm is the pattern of beats or stresses in a poem. In this poetry, the rhythm is marked by bold words. Second, rhyme is the repetition of the same or similar sounds, usually in stressed syllables at the ends of lines, but sometimes within a line. In this poetry, the rhyme is in sentence, that I may rise and stand, overthrow me and bend. Next, alliteration is the repetition of consonant sounds at the beginnings of words. The alliteration of this poetry is in line 4, your first to break, blown, burn, and make me new, by B words break, blown, and burn. Consonants is the repetitive sound produced by consonants in the middle or end of words in a phrase or sentence, which is marked by ND from man and bend, defend, from line 2, 3, 6, and 7 of this poetry. Assonance is the repetition of vowel sounds within non-rhyming words, which is marked by word O in line 6 with O to no end. Repetition is the repeating of a particular sound device to create an effect. Better my heart 3% cut for you, as yet but not breathe, shine, and seek to mend, that I may rise and stand, overthrow me and bend, your first to break, blown, burn, and make me new. In line 1 through row 4, it is explained that the writer repeatedly rose up with new vigor after many trials approach. Onomatopoeia is words that are used to represent particular sounds. In this poetry, on words break, blown, burn. Whenever the speaker is talking about how he wants God to treat him, the sonic quality of the language becomes violent and intense. Move on to the third analysis is imagery. Similar, a comparison using like or as. I like an usurped town, yet dearly I love you and would be loved fain, but I am betrothed into your enemy. He described himself as a quiet city imprisoned in silence, but his torments and it show that he asked God to take him out of the arrangement. Metaphor, a figure of speech containing an implied comparison. In this poem, on the fifth line, the poet uses metaphor in his poetry on the sentence, I, like an usurped town to another do, that has been taken over by enemy forces. The speaker's soul is like an usurped town, a town that has been conquered by an enemy, but the identity of this enemy is unspecified. Uses metaphor to compare himself to an usurped town. Next, extended metaphor is a metaphor that is developed in great detail. Extended metaphor is made clear in the fourth line, in which he says he wants to cut to you first to break, blown, burn, and make me new, suggesting that this inner battle is bringing about a renewal within the poet. Allusion. Line 1. referring to the Trinity here, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit in Christian religion. The word batter refers to a battering ram which was used to break down doors to a castle during this time period. Line 2. He wants God to batter his heart rather than the merciful and non-violent knocking, breathing, shining, and seeking to mend that he has been doing all along. Line 3. The speaker wants to suffer by being beaten down in his present life so that he will be deserving of the everlasting salvation that is promised after death. Line 5. The idea of a sage or a sharp town relates back to the idea of a battering ram mentioned in line 1. Next, line 6. He is trying and failing to let God into his town or his heart, and by the side he seems saddened. Line 7. Viceroy means deputy of the sovereign or master. The speaker is personifying a reason, and the reason reports to God. Line 10. The speaker is referring to Satan as the enemy. Line 12. He wishes for God to imprison him, bringing back the idea that Christians must endure pain and struggle in order to get into heaven. Line 14. The speakers use a paradox and metaphor throughout the poem show that it is difficult to describe God in simple language. The fourth analysis is mood. Mood is the feelings author's word choices give the poem. The language used by Dawn in Better My Heart is highly dramatic. First, the monosyllabic verbs, especially hiras, as they are run off as a list in quick succession. Second, the paradoxes are similarly paired. Tone. In the poem Better My Heart, 3% God, John Donne writes a person's feelings about and relationship with God. The speaker begins with a soft, loving tone as he describes God's ability to better his heart, as well as know, breathe, shine, and seek to mend. This talk craft the notion that the speaker looks at God as an almighty being, powerful force. However, the tone gradually hardens. The speaker recognizes that he must labor to admit, but to no end. This implies that the narrator dislikes being the weak or untrue laborer to God when he does nothing but love him. The last analysis is theme. The theme of a poem is its central or main idea. The overriding theme of Better My Heart is personal sinfulness and unworthiness, to which, almost as a corollary, the theme of unfaithfulness is attached. The imagery of the cities is quite explicitly that of marital unfaithfulness and betrothed unto our enemy. Divorce me, ravish me. It makes it shocking to use such explicit human terminology for spiritual unfaithfulness, but then the metaphysical poets do set out to shock. For then we feel this is not some rhetorical trick, but an expression of his own sense of being a divided personality. Various critics have made suggestions about why Donne feels so divided. First, his leaving of the Roman Catholic Church may still have haunted him with feelings of betrayal and of division. Second, it may be more temperamental. Some people are super sensitive to their own shortcomings and failures. So that's all the analysis of this poetry. Thank you.